Oh, summertime in Seattle. If you know, you know. I know a lot of you, if you've heard of Seattle, the Pacific Northwest, you think it's one big rainy mess up here. But the summertime, I mean, it rains in the summertime too, don't get it twisted, but summertime's nice. Don't tell anybody because we're not trying to have you move up here. It's all good. It rains all the time. Anyway, we're out with Uncle Dan, and it was a pretty fun day. Sometimes, you can't get out on a long ride, so you just have to get what you can get. I think we went about 15, 16 miles today. So when I ride with Uncle Dan, if I have a full day with him, he'll go for about three hours. Longest ride I've gone with him is about 40 something miles. So I'm just trying to work my stamina back up. My work schedule has changed, so I cannot ride every single day like I used to. So I definitely find myself struggling a little bit. Maybe not struggling is the word, but, really having to exert myself. I feel like my stamina is decent, but my power just isn't where it was. So I'm not able to generate tons of power for a long amount of time like I feel like I was able to. I feel like when I look at my Strava times, I'm a mile an hour slower, a mile to 2 miles an hour slower than I have been in the past. And I can feel it. And so it's interesting riding with Uncle Dan because he is able to keep a regular schedule. He's retired now, so he's living the dream, so to speak. His children are grown, and he's just able to ride every other day. And he goes a good amount every other day. He rides throughout the year, even when it's the winter time. Obviously when it gets rainy, it makes it hard to stay out for a long time. But when it stays like this is awesome. And so, you have a little bit of time in your schedule. I don't have tons of time. And so it's nice to get out. It's interesting riding with Dan too. I made a video about rim brakes versus disc brakes. I am on my Poseidon Triton with mechanical disc brakes, mechanical drivetrain, and he's on his 90s Breezer rim brake. Now, some of the things that differentiate us is I got a wide cassette at the back with my 20 speeds. I got more speeds with him, and I got a wider range. Now, what would I rather have, more gears or a wider range of gears? I'd rather have a wider range of gears than more gears. I've ridden with him with a 10-speed bike before, 1x10. My Fazari. But since I've gotten my Triton, thank you Poseidon Company, thank you Lewis, shout out, I've been using this one to ride with him on the roads because we do mostly pavement, like pretty much all pavement unless there's like little sections in between, but it's definitely not mixed surface like I will do on my own. I really don't ride all pavement when I'm on my own, so Dan is a good time to get my stamina up riding with him. One thing I definitely noticed, like one of the commenters on one of my videos was like talking about how rim brakes are legit, but disc brakes are a gimmick and they provide no advantages. And that's a strong disagree. Okay, because definitely on the times when we're going down mad descents, I will bomb far away from Uncle Dan. Now, you could also say you need to get your brake pads updated. You need a new set of brake pads, and that could be the case. But I just think in general, like the speed he's going downhill is the speed that I remember going downhill when I was on a rim brake bike. I think that's one of the biggest disadvantages for me is descents. On the ascents going up, I feel like a rim brake bike is an advantage, honestly, because they're lighter. And even though he has a smaller cassette at the back, I think at the back he has a 11 to 25, if you can believe it. And back in the day, that was actually like, back in the 90s, that was a decent sized cassette. I remember when I started riding my touring bike, the reason that I used a mountain bike rear derailleur, I got the Dior on my road bike is because I wanted to ride on a bigger cassette on the back. I was like riding with a 32, 34 on the back, 11 to 34. And for me, that was massive. And, you know, I felt that I had a 3x in the front also. So I had the little granny gear if I wanted it. And I felt like with that cassette in the back and the 3x in the front, I could get up pretty much anything. And I was fast too. But the only problem was when you're on those rim brakes, going downhill, it's just sketchy, you know? I mean, I feel like the speed advantage that you get is almost a disadvantage when you're going downhill because it's so fast that I can't control it. Like, so speed without control, speed without confidence, does it really matter? You know what I'm saying? And so that's something that I factored in terms of the give and take. So overall, I'm pretty happy with disc brakes. I would not go back to rim brakes for pretty much any reason. Unless I was just having a hobby bike and I just didn't really care. And then I would go, you know, just to build something to plug around town. But between the 3 bikes that I have at this point, it kind of covers all the bases. I feel like this Triton that I'm on is great for speed, great for climbing. This goes up and down the hills really nicely. So this is a really awesome bike. But I feel like for descents, because I live in a hilly place, if I lived in a more flat landscape, I would definitely consider a rim brake bike. And again, you know, like I said in my video, the rim brakes are a lower entry point because you get a lot of really nice used rim brake bikes on the secondhand market. If you're willing to look every day, you can find something really nice. And I mean, you know, this is a 90s Breezer that he's riding on. He's been riding it all day. He doesn't feel any need to get any updates. So it just goes to show you, once you find something that you really like, he's got a steel bike, so you know it's lasted this homie since the 90s. You know, he probably got it new back then. And all he's had to do is update, you know, the components when they wear out. His son, cousin Nick, is a really nice bike mechanic. He doesn't work professionally as a bike mechanic anymore. He used to. But he's just really good with his hands, so working with him is really fun. We went out to the Golden Gardens in the Ballard neighborhood in Seattle, and we got to see some turtles today, which was pretty awesome. So thank you for watching the ride. We'll talk to you soon. Hopefully everything with you is going all right. Like and subscribe. Talk to you soon.